What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, got a new camera angle. I'm liking it so far, but we'll see if you guys like it. Leave a comment down below if you enjoy it. I did something a little different in this video, and I wanted to do a Q&A, but I wanted to use it with ChatGPT and AI. I wanted to ask ChatGPT 15 questions I could answer. So I asked ChatGPT the following. What questions would you ask a tech YouTube creator? And it generated about 25 questions, and I narrowed it down to 15, and those are the questions I'm gonna answer in this video. So I hope that these are questions that you might have as a creator. I hope these are questions that you might want me to expand on later on. And I'm curious if this concept works. So leave a comment down below if you're excited for this video. But with that, let's get into it to the first question. So the first question is, how do you maintain consistency in your content style and quality? For me, consistency comes from planning. I feel I am able to be most consistent when I can plan out the videos I'm doing. I can plan out 3 videos I'm gonna put out for the week, and I can totally plan when they're gonna go out, how they're gonna go out, have captions ready, have descriptions ready, titles ready, thumbnails, all of those things. I think consistency is one of the most important things when it comes to creating on the internet, and one of the most important things that keeps you relevant for a long period of time. How do you interact with your audience, and what platforms do you find most effective for engagement? I mean, I interact most with my audience on YouTube. I love when I put a video up to be straight in the comment section, just have conversations, answer questions, things like that. I wanna get more into interacting with my audience on Instagram and Twitter, or X, but my following isn't as big on there. So that's something I'm trying to grow in the future. So make sure you go follow my Instagram and Twitter, Joseph Lipsen. But that's really where I communicate most. I think it's very beneficial that in 2023, going into 2024, you're able to have full-on conversations on the internet and on these platforms and just learn from so many other creators and people that are interested in the same things as you. How important do you think networking for a tech YouTuber is, and how do you go about building relationships in the tech community? This one is, I'm gonna be true with you on this one. I don't have many tech friends in this space. That's one thing I wanna grow in 2024, is just build more of a group of people within the tech space. And it's not so much being with them in real life, but being able to communicate, being able to shoot videos to them and being, what do you think of this thumbnail? And just having more friends within the tech community that's in this realm, in this niche that I'm really into with tech and filmmaking. So that's ultimately one of my biggest goals for 2024, is how can I as a creator kind of interact with more creators in the same field and same niche as me? What are some of the biggest challenges you've faced as a tech YouTuber, and how did you overcome them? The biggest challenge for me is easily not seeing return in your investment. By that I mean my investment in putting time, putting energy, putting just brain power into this channel, and for so long not seeing a result. And that's ultimately what comes with growing. You're not gonna see a result right away. You're not gonna see a result in a good amount of time, and you have to be okay with that. And for me, I've had so many times where I've thought, is this something that is just a waste of time? Is this causing anxiety and breakdowns, or is this something that I'm truly passionate about? And it always comes back that I'm truly passionate about telling a story, creating videos, and ultimately just like sharing my knowledge that I've learned over the years with others on this platform. What considerations do you take into account to ensure the explanations are accessible to viewers with varying levels of technical knowledge? For me, you can go on and on with kind of the niche I'm in and the stuff I'm in, and go deep and deep into specs and all these technical terms. But for me, I like to keep it relatable. I like to keep it as relatable as how these things work for me in my everyday life. So if there's a stat that's important to me, like shooting on a full frame camera, that's something I'll share. But I'm not gonna go deep into like the resolutions of a camera, all of those things, if they don't mean something to me. So for me, relatability and how something works in my everyday life is something that I like to take into this channel, because if I can make it something that works in my everyday life, it's relatable to a lot of the mass population. What is your approach to scripting your videos? How much of your content is scripted versus improvised? Almost all of my content is scripted. I am a big planner. I'm big on having a script go beforehand, and it's not as if I'm reading off of a teleprompter word for word. It's more so scripting as in, I know the topics I'm gonna talk about. I know what's gonna come up next. I know when things are gonna come together in my videos, and I have an ultimate flow, and basically I have the entire video built before the video's even shot. And it also makes the editing process a lot easier along the way. What tools or strategies do you use to stay organized and efficient? That's easy. I use Notion. Notion has been my best friend for project management, for getting all of my ideas down in one place, for getting my little sponsorships in one place, just for getting everything together. I've used a lot of templates in Notion. I've built a lot of pages off of Notion, and it's ultimately the powerhouse that keeps this channel going. How do you balance creating content that you're passionate about and creating content that performs well in terms of views and revenue? I mean, only take offers of products and stuff that you're passionate about. An example is I was asked by Brevity, a backpack company, if I wanted to try out their backpack. My first ever camera backpack was a Brevity, and the fact that that company reached out and asked if I wanted to use it, I've used the product before, so I'm a firm believer in it. So I was able to be like, yeah, I'd love to try it out. And ultimately, it's a brand that I'm passionate about, and it's a brand that I've kind of invested my money in prior, just buying one of their first backpacks. So it's easy to fall down the rabbit hole of just taking whatever comes your way, if it's free, if it's pay, whatever. But ultimately think, are you passionate about this? Because passion shows in video and passion shows in content. And if you're not passionate about something, it shows. It's harder to talk about. It's harder to create content around. What advice do you have for tech creators looking to make a sustainable income from their YouTube channels? I mean, it's simple. Patience. I think patience is the main thing that a lot of tech creators need. I am by no means making a living off of YouTube. I make a little bit of money on the side off of this channel, but ultimately to get to that point, you have to not focus on money, and you can't do it for the money. This has to be something you're really passionate about, because like all forms of content, all forms of production, it takes so much time, so much energy, and so much of really your heart and soul to put yourself out there, talk in front of a camera, and ultimately be confident in the things you're talking about. How to make a living in this? I think it's patience, and I think it's taking what comes and not taking anything really for granted. How has your content evolved since you started your tech channel, both in terms of style and topics covered? For me, pre-production has changed the most. I used to just set up a camera, sit down and start talking and see what I got out of it. But now I have an entire pre-production plan. I have an entire template. I have an entire storyboard. I have an entire thing that goes into it where I know the thumbnail, I know the title, I know the tags, I know everything, description that's gonna go into this video before I even shoot it. I know exactly what shots I'm gonna get. I know everything from the back of my hand when I'm going in to shoot this, that I know exactly what the video looks like before I even press record. And then, like I always state, it makes it a lot easier on the back end when I'm editing. In my opinion, that's changed a lot. Of course, quality of videos has changed a lot, but that just goes into investing in higher end gear. If it's lights, if it's 2 cameras, if it's audio gear, whatever it is, that just comes with time and comes with experience and comes with ultimately making an investment in yourself. In your opinion, what are some of the most exciting or game-changing developments in tech right now? I mean, AR, VR, I think that is the future of tech, is the augmented reality and virtual reality. I think the way they're making movies and stuff and TV shows with AR, VR is important, but even things like the Meta Quest Pro or the Apple Vision Pro coming out, I think those advances are the first time we're seeing them, and it's almost going to be like the first time we saw an Apple Watch or the first time we saw an iPhone, and it's the start of something really new and revolutionary to the tech world. Are there any tech products you're particularly excited about at this moment? Apple Vision Pro. I think it's going to be so cool. Am I going to pick one up? I'm not paying $3,500 for one, but I'd love to hop into the Apple Store, play with it, see it. And it's something I really want to see and get into, is the AR, VR, and just that whole world, because I think it is the next wave of content. Who are your inspirations or role models, either within the tech industry or within other fields? Casey Neistat is someone that I've looked up to for years. I think he is the OG of vlogging. He put like the grit into New York and the beauty into his vlogs. Peter McKinnon with his reviews and just the way he talks about things, I'm really into what he's doing. MKBHD Marquez, I think what he does with tech is remarkable. He's someone I really look up to. And then just a few small creators. There's a creator that goes by Jayhawk, which I'm really into his content. He's just over 40K subs, and I love his stuff. I love what he's doing on long form and short form. There's a creator named Ryan Cow, who is another creator who talks a lot about more of the cinematography of things. I'm really into his stuff. But I mean, it goes crazy along the spectrum of YouTube. There's so many creators out there that I literally find someone new that I'm inspired by every single day. Where do you see your tech channel in the next few years? For me, it's growth. I want to get to 50K subscribers by the end of next year. I want to get to 100K a little bit after that. I really think that this channel has been an outlet for me. It's been something that I didn't know I would be this deep into, this far into it, and it's just something I want to continue to grow. I want to have more sustainable of an audience that's coming back to my channel versus new subscribers. That's something I'm really focused on coming into the new year. So for me, ultimately, the growth I want is just, I want to be able to talk about more content and ultimately just be able to talk about my passion on this channel. And then how do you balance your personal life with the demands of being a content creator? I mean, for me, it's a big thing. It's, if you're gonna burn out, if you feel like you're gonna burn out, let it happen. I think that's the main thing, is not to fight burnout, because we all need a break. We all need a deep breath. We all need those outlets. For me, it's going and riding the Peloton. It's going and grabbing a coffee. It just resets my mind and gets me able to come in here and create. So I think the main thing to separate your personal life and your professional life is just accept burnout for what it is. And if you love creating in your personal life, it becomes your professional life. And I work a full-time job that is in the creative field, and I come home after work, before work, and create. So ultimately, it's just what I love to do, and you take it for what it is, and it just turns into your life. So yeah, those are 15 questions that ChatGPT generated for me that I wanted to answer. So if there's a question you have that wasn't answered, you want me to expand on one, comment down below and I'd love to expand on it and have a conversation about it. Or DM me at @JosephLipsen on Instagram, @JosephLipsen on Twitter or X. And I'd love to just have a conversation and answer as many questions as I possibly can. So with that, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.